Hello everyone, I'm NiniFC and this is Blue Lines TV, and today I'm bringing you guys a match review of our 2-0 win over Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final. Yes, you guys, we are going to be going into the final and we will be playing against Manchester United on the 19th, so it's going to be a very difficult game against them. But before I get straight into the match review, you guys know what the deal is. Hit that like button, help me get more than 300 likes for this video, and you guys hit that bell notification button as well to stay notified to all things Blue Lines TV. If you are a new subscriber, thank you for subscribing, but press the bell notification button because otherwise it's not going to mean anything really. But anyway, you guys, getting straight into the match review, starting with the lineup, and I really wasn't surprised by the lineup. I think the only surprise was obviously Caballero starting over Courtois, but at the same time, Caballero does play in all of the cup competitions, and he was decent in this game. I'm going to get into player performances later on, but yeah, we saw Emerson playing as a left wing back, which makes a lot of sense. As I was saying, in the Burnley game, we got subbed off near the end, and to me, that signified that he would be playing against Southampton. We saw Cesc returning alongside Kante and Giroud starting over Alvaro Morata. And in the match preview I did last night, I was stating the fact that I feel that Giroud would be playing because, one, he does have that type of, you know, mental edge when it comes to playing against Southampton. He's got that confidence behind him. He's scored against them before so many times this season. And it's just about continuing that good form, which he did do in this game. But starting with the game of the first half, and really, I have to mention one thing, and I thought that Southampton were very disappointing, very, very disappointing. And it's just like, it makes you know, this is an FA Cup semi-final game. Yes, I know that you're trying to get into and stay up in the Premier League. There's a lot of pressure on you guys in regards to that, but I felt that Hughes's lineup was very negative. Really, they gave us the game during the first half, and he had no real attacking output throughout that entire first half. And you know, you're seeing guys like Redmond and Tadic on the bench, and Buffal as well, and they're not playing any part, and it just makes you, you know, scratch your head. Now, they did try to use a 3-5-2 system, and basically what Southampton's game plan was when they were off the ball, they had their three centre-backs marking Giroud, Willian and Eden Hazard, and they didn't care about possession in this game. They wanted to make sure that they were very compact and very deep. Obviously, their shape essentially was very compact, and they wanted to give us the spaces out wide in the flanks. They didn't mind how many times we had the ball on the flanks. They weren't really closing us down when we pushed out wide. It was only when we were starting to get near their box, that's when they started to apply the pressure. And that's such a common tactic that we see throughout football these days. Yes, like that Catenaccio style, where it's all about, you know, allowing your opponents to have the spaces out wide, because basically that's an area where they can't really affect you as much. It's the least dangerous area, and what you try to do is you try to force these teams to obviously play crosses into the box, and that way your numerical advantage at the back can help you overcome that and, you know, deal with any aerial balls or anything like that. And during the first half, even though we had ball possession, even though we could play out whenever we wanted to, because Southampton weren't really closing us down as much. Sometimes they would, but most times they weren't. You know, that was fine, but it was just about the build-up play, which we were really not struggling with, but it wasn't very cohesive. Now, a lot of times, I make this point all the time, but I don't feel that we utilise our wing-backs enough. I'll give you an example. Victor Moses last season, I was comparing his stats with Kyle Walker's, because they were, you know, the two of the most accomplished fullbacks in the league last season. And I found that Kyle Walker, even though Moses and him had played the same amount of games and minutes, Kyle Walker had 500 more touches of the ball. 500 more. That's like, you know, that's like 50% more than Moses had throughout the season. And to me, that just summed up everything to me, because we just use these guys more for support role. We don't really get them as involved in the build-up play. Throughout this game, especially in the first half, I kept noticing Emerson in particular. He kept making those overlapping runs. No one was using his runs with you know, through the space that Emerson was creating for them. I think Hazard at times was slowing the play down a bit too much on the left-hand side, and you know, Emerson really didn't get too much of the ball, and it was the same thing for Victor Moses as well. And honestly, whenever we try to transition from deep to Southampton's half, there was a massive gap in midfield. Now, this is why I normally complain at, with using a 3 at the back system, because I feel that we're always a man short in midfield. Sometimes it would be nice if, let's say, one of the central centre back push into midfield or something like that. I think you're able to do that. Yeah, Aspie does push into midfield sometimes, but not as often. And it's only in very unique circumstances as well. He doesn't just push forward at will. And I just feel that this wasn't helping us in particular in the first half, because we needed that link-up guy in the holes. Now, normally, Cesc Fabregas would be the guy playing in that area, but when he's playing alongside N'Golo Kante, playing as a midfield player, he has his defensive due diligence and his defensive responsibilities that obviously Conte has instilled in the team. So he has to drop deep with N'Golo Kante, and this is what I mean. That's the exact area you want Cesc, because that's when he starts a lot of the attacking moves and tries to create things. And I don't know, I just think sometimes a 3 at the back can be overkill. Sometimes it, it's beneficial, but most times, especially against this type of tactic, it doesn't really aid us in any way. Now, during the first half, the real threatening effort did come from Willian hitting the top of the crossbar, but other than that, we weren't really creating as much. Giroud was getting outmanned a few times. Southampton were doubling up on him quite a lot at times. Even though Giroud's fight was there, he wasn't necessarily able to always control the ball at will and link up. But what really helped us, and now I'm going to move into the second half, was that he got the goal literally straight after the kickoff. Now, it was a great pass to Hazard, nice bit of play to obviously slip in Olivier Giroud. And then, I'm not going to lie, at the stadium when I watched this, I was thinking, crap, Giroud, take the shot, take the shot, take the shot. I thought he was really overplaying things, and I thought that it was inevitable that he was going to miss. But sometimes, I can't be too cynical to my own detriment. Fantastic composure by Olivier Giroud to wait for that perfect moment, because he didn't have to take the shot yet, because looking at the replays and stuff, the angle and the opening wasn't necessarily there. And great composure, great skill with his feet, and then he places it in, and then really we kind of sensed that the game was going to be in our favour from that moment in time. And Southampton, they liked to, they tried to make their changes us, and they decided to start playing a bit more. Again, I felt it was an extremely negative approach from Southampton, and they make a double substitution. Obviously, of course, Tadic and Redmond finally comes on, and then Conte makes a substitution, and a lot of people in the stadium, and a lot of people actually in the stand I was sitting on, you could hear like, huh? Conte subbing off Willian, who looked very impressive during the game, to bring on Bakayoko. And a lot of us have this sinking feeling like, oh my god, please don't tell me we're going to be using a 5-3-2 and just sitting back and trying to play on the counter-attack. That was the sinking feeling a lot of fans felt at that moment in time, because we've seen it happen so many times. We're in perfect control, and then we like to play without the ball for no reason, and then give chances to the opposition. Baka comes on, replaces Willian. He's frustrated. I don't know the full details, if it was due to him having a knock, or angry at being subbed off, or maybe frustrated with his own personal performance. I'm not too sure. But Baka comes on, and then honestly, ended up being okay, because I think like 10 minutes later, Pedro comes on to replace Fabregas, and then we revert back to a 3-4-3. And honestly, this is like a typical Italian management type of thing, where they do like to make these types of substitutions to slow down the momentum in the game. Obviously, with Southampton making a double substitution, maybe Conte's thinking, let's try and reduce their momentum, let's try and pack the midfield a bit more, and then I'm going to make that substitution later on to keep that intensity. And honestly, I said this on Twitter, but it's a very rare thing to see Antonio Conte, number one, making a substitution in the 60th minute, and number two, making a substitution when we're winning the game. Those two things never happen together. But, in this game, Conte definitely got his game management on point. That's one thing he definitely did. And, it's good to see, you have to control the game and obviously give your manager something to think about and tinker with. And Conte got it spot on, I think, in this game today. Now, yeah, we continue through the game. Morata comes on, replaces Giroud, who was decent in this game today again. And it's nice to know that his form has picked up as the season's been finishing, because there could be some very decisive games as the season's ending. And I think Conte was saying in his press conference afterwards, Giroud is the type of striker that he likes. And you guys, you know, transfer dailies, I've been saying for a long time that Antonio Conte did want Olivier Giroud, and he was happy to have him because he's a target man that fills the role that Conte wants in his system. You know, someone that's going to hold up the ball, link up the play as well, has an aerial threat. Conte likes that, and with Giroud, he knows he can't. He can do that. With Morata, he knows he can't really. And Conte was making that point in the press conference as well, that Morata's better at running into the channels compared to Giroud. But, you know, it's a complementary strike force. Anyway, Morata gets the goal. Great header. Again, that assist from Azpilicueta. And, yeah, the game was all but still. And then after that, the game was very open. And it was pretty entertaining the last, like, 15-20 minutes. Now, Southampton had some chances of their own. They hit the post themselves. Morata had a chance to make it 3, but I mean, looking on the replays, you can see that a defender cleared it off the line. But at the same time, I'm thinking that, one, maybe if Hazard had played it quicker, and 2, maybe if Morata had anticipated it better, so he could have just got his body balance right, so it could have been an easy finish for him. And then he has another chance afterwards. You're thinking he should do better, and then he doesn't. But again, it's good to know that he got a goal. And my prediction at the start of the season was if Morata gets a minimum of 18 goals, it'll be decent. He needs to get 2 more goals to reach that. And I think that for his debut maiden season, playing as a first-choice striker in a new country, it's not too bad. But anyway, you know, we have a few more chances. I kind of think maybe on the counter-attack especially, Eden had a habit of overplaying things a bit too much, even though he was, I think, our best player today. Standout, I thought Emerson looked decent when he was on the board as well. This is why it'd be nice if he could play a bit more offensively, so you could really see their offensive capabilities. I thought Cahill led the defence well. Yeah, he definitely, his past 2 games, Cahill has looked good, so I give him credit for that. Kante, you know, Angolo, he's a warrior that you want in your team. He's a soldier you want in your team, honestly. World-class player, ran the midfield. And yeah, I thought it was just a good performance, and it was quite comfortable in the end. Yeah, Southampton had a few moments where they were testing us, but it wasn't very, very dangerous in my opinion. We should have won by more than 2. It should have been 4. It's nice to know that we were creating chances, and hopefully we can take this form into future games. But anyway, you guys, that's going to end today's match review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Nini FC. This is Blue Lines TV. Signing.